Okay, today is November the 12th, 2017, and right now at noontime, Sunday, we have a temperature of 67 degrees. The relative humidity is 48%. The dew point is 47 degrees, and the barometer is reading 30.07 inches. And we're looking at the northeast Pacific infrared loop, and we can see a developing hurricane right here. This has a 70% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. And all that moisture from this system is moving right into central and southern California. And we would expect to see quite a bit of rain from what's happening right here in central and southern California. Now, the fact is we do have rain in northern California right now on the Doppler map, but nothing right here in the entire southern and central part of that state. Let's look at the water vapor map here real quick, and we can see the flow pattern. We have a area right here which is trying to spin, or starting to spin counterclockwise right over the Hawaiian Islands right there. We have another storm way out here in the West Pacific, which is all completely being squashed by transmitters. We have high pressure on both sides of this area. We've got a triangle in the center of that low. This is being completely manipulated and squashed, and also blocked by this area of high pressure right here, which has been installed to prevent any moisture from getting down into this area here. Everything is being separated. We have a separation right here. This big area of high pressure has been installed to prevent anything over here from merging with this low pressure area here, which is starting to spin counterclockwise. If we look at the National Hurricane Center map, we can see right over here we've got a disturbance with a 70% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. This is the weather that is flowing up towards central and southern California, but is not producing any rain whatsoever. Look at this. So we've got some rain up in the northern California area and also offshore from that much shallower flow pattern. If we look at the water vapor map here, we can see that the rain being derived from this flow pattern here, the blue on this is much paler up in this area, which indicates the depth of the water vapor, yet they're getting rain. But look what's happening here. We have a tropical flow pattern right into central and southern California, mostly into the central area right up here. And look at that deep blue, and yet there is zero rain showing up in the central and southern California area. So what does that mean? That means that the chemtrail jets are out spraying. That means that these aerosols are being heavily sprayed over our area right now. And that's why everybody's got headaches. Look at this. This morning I watched the weather, Sunday morning weather on KABC Channel 7. They didn't show the disturbance down off of Mexico. They didn't show that. No mention of this. They didn't show the maps showing the flow patterns. They didn't show any of this. And so people, the unwashed masses that are watching television and getting their information from the television set, are not understanding why we're not getting rain. And they're not understanding that our weather is being controlled. This has nothing to do with solar radiation management, these chemtrails that are being sprayed. This has everything to do with the prevention of precipitation. Solar radiation management is a term, it's an ambiguous term. Some people refer to it as a method of fighting global warming, climate change. Well, there is no such thing. We have climate control. The climate change that is being marketed on television is part of a larger scheme to implement a carbon tax, which will somehow change the minds of these sociopathic weather controllers to maybe rethink their strategy or something ridiculous like that. No, the fact is that these chemtrails are only sprayed when we have precipitation moving in, and that's what's happening right here. This is a tropical flow pattern coming from right here at about 12 just right here between 10 and 15 degrees north latitude. Look at this. All of that moisture is flowing right into California, and we see zero rain. And these incompetent, inept, idiot meteorologists on TV will not connect these dots for their viewing audience. Look at this. There's no rain. How much clearer can we make this? This has nothing to do with solar radiation and managing solar radiation. Again, that's an ambiguous term. It's misleading, and there's a lot of disinformation on the net. Now, the people that are using that term, they've done a lot of good work, but we have to understand, and that's why I'm doing these videos here, we have to understand the pattern of the chemtrail spring, the timing of the spring operations. You have to understand that in order to understand that the solar radiation management it's a diversion, it's a cover story. There's nothing about the chemtrails that are managing solar radiation. The fact is that the chemtrails, the aerosols, the stratospheric aerosols, what they're doing is they're capping the atmosphere. That prevents the lift. And again, I'm going to repeat this again. You have to have two components for precipitation. You have to have lift in the atmosphere, and you have to have moisture. Now, obviously, we have the moisture. That's moving in right here, and also right up here on this frontal system. But the lift is being taken away. It's being stopped by the chemtrail aerosols, which are sprayed above the moisture field, and that prevents the lift of this water vapor. All this atmospheric river of water cannot lift sufficiently to generate precipitation. The process is being stopped by these aerosols. Now, that again has zero to do with managing solar radiation. So we got to make this clear. Otherwise, we're going to have to move into shift gears here and start calling people out for what's going on. This is not solar radiation management. And the timing of the aerosols is all we need to understand to understand that solar radiation management is a cover story. Okay, let's look at this developing hurricane. This is the water vapor map. We see some icicle patterns out here. This is a blast pattern. This area is being superheated. Let's go ahead and look at the, this is the infrared loop. This area here is being superheated with either laser or microwave. And that is causing this blast pattern, these expanding rings that flow out. And if we look at the, here at the visible light map, we can see those blast rings, those pressure waves right down here, which are moving away from the center point of where this area is being targeted. Let's go ahead and stop the map here, and we can see this happening. We have the photoshopping here, this grainy pixelation stuff. They're hiding the detail. And then we have the night to day transition. We can see these rings right here. They're all moving away from the target point. And so the area is being targeted. We can see a hole opening up right dead center there. So this area of thunderstorms is all being targeted with either laser or microwave. That disrupts the convective process and prevents the lift. It disrupts the entire machinery of hurricane development. We do see some rotation attempting here, trying to spin, but that is being disrupted by these pulses of either laser or microwave. And we can see the blast pattern once again. That is, so these weather controllers are attempting to break that down. Now here's the southwest water vapor loop. Southwest water vapor loop. We can see the chemtrails being sprayed. Look at this, all through here. All through here. So obviously, there's some very, very heavy spraying going on. I may do a part 2 update, a video later on, once we get the MODIS Today map up and processed. Okay, so that's the end of the report. We'll just leave it right here. And from all this water vapor moving in, we have zero precipitation. Once again, here's the Doppler map. There is just nothing at all except for out here. This is just a smattering of residual moisture, but this is really something. You know, if people don't understand the effect of these chemtrail aerosols at this point and the timing, then there's really nothing more we can do for you here on this channel. The timing is everything, as they say in the music business. Okay, that's it.